Okay, video 2 ready for installation, or getting ready for installation. I want to show you all what I'm doing here. Okay, that is a Wilkerson roller bridge. Scott Grow and every other dildo in America will tell you to put that bridge on your Epiphone or Les Paul, Gibson, Epiphone, whatever. Bridge on your guitar to replace this one that has the sharp edges. I'm filming on a telephone, I'm sorry. Has the sharp edges because the strings break and you can never get the intonation right because the G string only goes back so far. So I did that. I replaced the original Epiphone bridge. No way you can see that. Anyway, it says Epiphone on there. The original Epiphone bridge with, it goes that way, with the Wilkerson roller bridge. The problem with this is two things. One, it's too heavy. And this guitar is already very heavy, and but it's well balanced with this bridge on it. If you put this bridge on it and you set it on your leg or whatever, the front of the guitar is going to tilt up and it's going to be out of balance. Other than that, it plays great. It intonated great. Once I got it intonated with these Allen screws, it took forever to get it intonated right. So I'm sick of the weight problem. It's too heavy for me. Plus, the one other problem is harmonics. I don't get good harmonics off of that bridge. I assume it's because it's not holding the guitar string tightly like that one does. I imagine the wiggle room here prevents a good bell-like harmonic. So I bought a Tune-o-matic bridge, which is still a roller bridge, but it's got a little bit tighter grip on the strings, no Allen screws, so no problem with all that intonation. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it came out of the package just like that, and it looks really close to the intonation the way it should be. So I'm just going to loosen the strings up and slap it on there and see if it's intonated. Now, if you want one of these, go get it. I highly recommend it. Your strings won't ever break. You'll have, the guitar will play great. You'll lose a little bit of, if you play a bunch of harmonics, you'll lose a little bit of that bell-like sound of the harmonics. But it will stay in tune. Once you get it set up, you'll be fine. But the weight is my issue. It's just too heavy. This one weighs almost exactly the same as the original. Matter of fact, it feels like the original's maybe a little bit heavier. I don't know. They're about the same. I wish I had a scale to weigh them. So anyway, I'm going to put the Tune-o-matic on there. I'm going to leave these strings on there if possible, and replace the Tune-o-matic from the Wilkerson. If I don't like it, I'll put the Wilkerson back on it. But for now, that's what I'm going to do. So I assume the screws go that way because that's the way the intonation looks perfect, and that's the way it was on the old one. It's got that stupid spring up here that causes your guitar to rattle and stuff too. So that's just a bad design. The original that comes on Epiphone's a bad design, period. And I'm going to replace it, and I'll get back to you right after it's replaced and show you what it looks like and what I think of it. Okay, I took the strings off and just literally loosened them up, pulled them off the post, set them over here. These are all very old strings. I'm going to change them right after I do this video. This Tune-o-matic bridge looks like it came pre-intonated, or it's damn close to what that one is and to what my old, the original one was. So anyway, I'm literally going to measure the height of my bridge and try to get the height the same, and pray this is pre-intonated. If not, I'll have to mess with all that. I'm going to switch them out and put the strings back on it and let you know which one's better. better, or I think it's better. It's personal choice, obviously. I want to point something out on these Wilkersons. You got these little adjuster Allen screws here. They are a pain in the ass, and you can't just screw your thing. I can now because I've loosened it up, but you can't just screw your bridge up and down with your screw pots, because the Allen screws on the side lock it in, and I guess that's good for keeping it intonated and keep it. I mean, this thing stayed tuned. I've never had a tuning problem with it. But if you ever get out of intonation or have to mess with these little Allen wrenches, it can be tedious and time consuming. Now I'm going to get to see if this post, wrong bridge, this post, and I'm pretty sure it's different size, yeah, different size, so I'm going to have to change out the deals, so I got to measure those perfect and put the other posts that came with the Tune-O-Matic on there. And, I'm feeling much better about this one already, because it's just less, it's easier to toy with back when I got the post changed out. Little side trick I want to show you. You're not going to be able to see it on video, but I want to let you know I did it. The strings aren't tightened back up yet. I just flipped this back on here. These are the old strings. If you can see a little black mark right there, I marked the strings all the way across with a black magic marker. Piece of chalk probably worked better. What the correct intonation was on the other bridge. So when I tighten these up, I'll be able to see. I've got a magnifying glass, and I can see them with my naked eye. You can see that little dot on this one back here. And anyway, when I tighten the strings up, those should match. And I don't know about that E string right now, but we'll see what it looks like. But I did that before I detuned the guitar, just to see where they lined up. Okay, this is a short version in case I screwed the last one up. I've already changed the roller bridge out from the Wilkerson. Where is it? The Wilkerson. I took that off because it was too heavy, and it made the back side of the guitar heavy, and I would have to hold it down with my thumb when I played it. Hold the neck down with my thumb when I was playing with a strap, or on my knee actually. It just made the guitar back heavy, and I didn't like that. It drove me crazy. Other than that Wilkerson bridge was perfect. That, and I didn't get bell-like harmonics out of it. For some reason, you hit a harmonic on it, and you just don't get that bell tone like you do with the original bridge. So I put this one on here, and left the old strings on it, and played it for about a week, several different tunings. It stayed in tune, it's been fine. The only problem I had was the G string. This thing, when I was putting it on, it was kind of my fault. I left the old strings on, and I pulled the strings back over the bridge, and I popped out that G string roller, and it went rolling across my kitchen floor. And by the grace of God, somehow I found both the pin and the roller and put them back in there, and so far it's been fine. It came pretty much intonated out of the package, so everything was where it should be. Now I'm going to put a new set of same exact strings that are on there, and I'm going to adjust the string height and everything, because the string height is just a tad bit higher than I like it, but I am getting pretty good harmonics out of it, and it's been staying in tune and everything. It's kind of on the fence about even changing the strings, but I want to finish this video. So, and these strings been on there a long time. I'm really curious to see what it's going to sound like with new strings on it. So I will get back to you after I change the strings. There's enough videos on YouTube how to change the strings. You don't need me showing you how to do it, that's for sure. So this is the video before the strings have been changed, last video. Okay, so the verdict is, what's the best bridge for a Les Paul? Is it the Tune-O-Matic that's on there now? Is it the original bridge that you can't get the G string intonated on because this goes back too far? It doesn't go back far enough. I guess you could file it, and that would go back far enough. Or is it the Wilkerson? That's too heavy and very hard to intonate and to get right because you have to move your strings and play with this little Allen wrench all the time. Now, once you get that done with this Wilkerson, you will love it. Other than the fact it's just heavy, and it will make your guitar out of balance. This one obviously keeps your guitar in balance because it's designed for your guitar. And I got to say, this Tune-o-matic came out of that little shrink wrap package right there, intonated. I haven't touched a screw on it, and this guitar is intonated all the way up and down the neck. Every note is perfect. Everything is fine on it. You saw the good things I had to say about the Wilkerson and all the things that I've said about this thing. At the end of the day, it's going to be your choice. If you're a guitar owner, you're going to go through this same process yourself, and you'll have to decide for yourself. But I do want to say one thing. These roller bridges are great if you're an amateur guitar player and don't make a living at it, and don't have somebody to change your strings for you, and can't afford to buy strings all the time. And because with this original bridge, it's almost like they're designed to break strings, so you have to buy more. And because strings just don't last on these things, those sharp edges wear them out. But on a Les Paul, this is a traditional Pro Les Paul, and on Les Paul, there's a squeal they make when you hit that pitch harmonic with a full octave bend. There's that high squeal that only a Les Paul can make. And I don't know if you get that true tone with these roller bridges, because they roll and they don't give you that perfect sound that you get out of an original Les Paul. But I did get back. I can't play for you because I'm recording this through a telephone, and the sound quality wouldn't be well enough for you to tell the difference. So there's no point in that. But I did get back more of my bell type harmonics with this bridge. I prefer this bridge over this one. The only problem I've had with this bridge at all is I popped, and it was my fault because I pulled this tailpiece off with the strings on it. This has got new strings on it now. I pulled the tailpiece off with the strings on it, and I popped that G string, that little pin right there. I popped it out and went flying across my kitchen. I was lucky. I found it, got it back in there, and it seems to be in there solid. There's nothing on top of those pins holding them in, so you got to be careful of that. But you likely won't be changing your strings with the tailpiece. They'll probably take your strings off. I was experimenting, so I popped that over there and did that wrong. That's what happened. And it was my own fault, so I can't fault the company for that. For my money, I go with this one because I save money on strings. It stays in tune. I get my bell-like harmonics, and my guitar is back in balance. So that's my choice. Last but not least, I mentioned this in passing while I was talking about stuff I was going to put on my guitar. My sister's fretboard cleaner. This stuff you can get at wickerfixer.com. I'll include a link at in the description. It's for treating your fretboard. Look at that fretboard. Look how hydrogenated and how pretty that fretboard is. That's because of this stuff. My sister works on wicker and cane furniture, and she makes this stuff. She won't tell anybody what's in it. I think it's linseed oil and some other stuff in it. But she sells these big jars for people to work on their cane, to bring back old, like 100-year-old cane and wicker furniture from the dead to like new. And I just talked her into giving me a bottle, and I started trying to use it on my fretboards, and it works perfectly. So all that said, at the end of the day, I picked this one. I actually like the Wilkerson once I got it intonated and stuff. I just like the look of it better. I liked everything about it, but it was too heavy. and the guitar was out of balance and I couldn't stand it, so it had to go. This one looks fine, plays fine, and that's what's staying on my guitar. As for your guitar, you'll have to choose for yourself. I'm glad you watched this entire video if you got this far. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Maybe I'll make some more videos. Maybe I'll actually buy a camera. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. Let me know to stop doing this stuff. Have a wonderful day. Rock on. Play every day. Play what you love. And love what you play. See ya.